Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. They'll follow you into the dark, no blinding light or tunnels to gates of white, just our hands clasped so tight, waiting for the hint of a spark. And if heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, and illuminate the nose on their vacancy signs, if there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. In Catholic school, as vicious as Roman rule, I got my knuckles bruised by a lady in black, and I held my tongue as she told me, son, fear is the heart of love. So I never went back. And if heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, illuminate the nose on their vacancy signs, if there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark.
Paper and I burn it, make a spell.
Hey! What are you guys doing?
Duh, we're watching Bones.
Okay, well, I'm back. I gotta be right back. Let's get to work.
Hey! Nice. Finally, something to do. Ooh. Thank you.
As a linguistic anthropologist, it is my job to describe the characteristics of human language and to study the relationship between language and the culture that speaks it. After opening the device and extracting the bits and pieces of information, I found a form of communication specific to this time in history. Well, early Homo sapiens used more pictures to explain situations they dealt with on a daily basis. In the time of the Egyptians, they used hieroglyphs which added symbols to these pictures. Language developed in many different forms across the globe, including English, which was the most used language at the time. Through recent breakthroughs in technology, we have been able to power this ancient device. Now, once we were able to do this, we were able to discover that this device was mostly used for communication. Luckily, we're actually able to extract a message between two of these ancient peoples.
So far what I've discovered about this device is it seems like every time they make a new, smaller communication system method, it seems like they're making new words along with it. It's almost like this is prompting an adaptation in their society and how they communicate. And it actually, from our records, we see that in certain periods of time, their collection of words, I think they called it a dictionary, their collection of words actually changed. It got larger, and in some years it actually stopped using them. The words just disappeared. And this device in particular led to new, smaller words, abbreviations of already existing words. From what I can see, that we've deciphered a couple of them so far. One of them was the letter G, followed by the number 2, and then followed by another letter G. And we believe that this stands for Go to Georgia, which would have reflected a certain desire to transit to Georgia. What was that all going to mean?
Yeah, life over liberty.
No.
Liberty over life?
LOL.
Lots of lollipops.
Done. Sweet tooth, development of
Lots of
change of diet. That could be one of you guys'.
Yes, we're sorry.
As a biological anthropologist, I study the physical development of the human species. It plays an important part in paleoanthropology, which is the study of human origins, and in forensic anthropology, the analysis and identification of human remains for legal purposes. It also includes neuroanthropology, the study of the human brain evolution, and of culture as neurological adaptation to the environment. As I was putting the skeleton back together, I noticed a few things about this so-called human that we found. I could tell what era it was from because of the strain on the bones. I took an endocast of the brain, and there were definite differences between its brain and ours. Its frontal lobe seemed less developed than ours, concluding that it spoke less often than we did and communicated in other ways, possibly in writing because of the other foundings that I found. When I took an x-ray of the hand, which is what I tripped over, I found that the human's opposable thumb had a lot of stress on it. And when I spoke to my fellow linguistics team member, he told me that the device he found was like a small computer and that the fingers and thumb could have easily been used to hit the keys, like this. Yes. So I figured that that's the reason for the extra buildup on the ligament of the thumb.
You said it was like fire around the brim, burning solid life in the burning rim, light stars burning holes right through the dark.
As behavioral anthropologists, we focus primarily on the behavioral patterns of primates and humans, and also how these species interact with their environment.
When analyzing this video camera, we came across material stored in the memory. Here is what we found.
Okay, my mom just canceled my brother's World of Warcraft account, and he's freaking out. Oh my god.
Okay, in a comparative analysis, these species are clearly Homo sapiens, but still possess primitive-like qualities with respect to our more developed and complex nature. The male in this video clearly shows this species' lack of control in the expression of intense emotions.
This video also illustrates the effects that inanimate objects have on the species. Such devices are so integrated into the species that withdrawal from the devices can lead to extreme behavioral outbursts. Okay.
So after all of the experiments and researching that we did with the artifacts that we found, we came to a conclusion what we thought life might have been like back in the day, back in 2011, according to the dates we found on the phone.
Combining all of the research from the biological, cultural, linguistic, and archaeological anthropologists from a culturally relative standpoint, we can hypothesize some of the usage of these artifacts that we found. As you can see, they make use of their opposable thumbs by putting multiple phenomes to create a single morpheme that are symbols which takes the place of verbal language.
The theories that we came up with validate the idea that we said earlier about their species not being able to control their emotions. We feel that these technological devices have a large effect on their communication and the way that they live their lives.
Off